The event-based gateway in BPMN is closest to the exclusive gateway. But there is a fundamental difference. Hi, my name is Andreas Hense and I make videos on business process automation. The similarity between the exclusive gateway and the event-based gateway is that exactly one outgoing branch is selected. However, the mechanism how this selection takes place is fundamentally different. The difference is best explained with an example from the Workflow Patterns book. I'll put a link to this book in the description below. This is the example that explains exclusive choice. So the process starts with select destination, and here we assume that in this concrete case that we're looking at, the destination has been chosen and the distance of this destination is 450 kilometers. So after that we have this exclusive gateway, the splitting exclusive gateway, and we see the conditions here looking at the distance that was actually chosen. So we have distance greater than 1,000 kilometers book plane, distance between 200 and 1,000 kilometers book train, and so on. So this decision here in the exclusive gateway is taken by the business process management system based on some internal data that somehow are within the system. Because after select destination, we can imagine that we had some kind of variable that stored the distance somewhere, and then we can look at this variable, internal data, evaluate that, and go directly to exactly one of this outgoing branches. And in this case, with 450 kilometers, we end up with book train. So the next work item that the user will see in his work list is book train and nothing else. Now let's look at the deferred choice workflow pattern. We have again this booking process. We start with select destination, and now we have the event-based gateway. And what we can see now here is that after select destination, where also some kind of data are being entered, maybe even the distance is being entered, this is not immediately evaluated like in the case before, but now we have the event-based gateway and we have three different signal events that are after the event-based gateway. And the first one is book plane has been selected. So if this signal arrives, the upper branch is taken and so on. So depending on what the user selected, we take one of the branches. What will be seen in the work queue of the user here are three different work items, one for book plane, one for book train, and one for book hire car. And as soon as the user selects one of the three, for example, book train, the other two will just disappear and just book train will be available after that. So the decision here is not based on data internal to the business process management system, but based on the environment, and the user is part of this environment and does the selection here. In case of the exclusive gateway, the selection takes place by the business process management system based on internal process data. In case of the event-based gateway, the selection takes place by an event that is external to the business process management system. The BPMN specification says, and I quote, "A specific event, usually the receipt of a message, determines the path that will be taken. Basically, the decision is made by another participant based on data that is not visible to the process, thus requiring the use of the event-based gateway." Another participant is a hint here that we should not use a message receive event here because it suggests that the message comes from another pool. This is why we opted for the signal event that can be used for communication within processes. What else to say about the event-based gateway? Among the valid events after an event-based gateway are message, signal, timer, and conditional events. Also, receive tasks can be used, although not together with message events. I made another video on receive tasks. Thank you for watching.